Hello students, in this video we will continue the revision of this chapter functions from the book PDF, from the Simta Arora textbook PDF. So this is probably the last video which I am making from this PDF, because after this only two topics will be left, which are passing tuples and dictionaries to your functions. Okay, so this the next two topics I will cover by using the slides which I was doing in the previous videos before. Like that I will again make some slides and I will show you that. But before that, let us again revise some topics from this PDF also, so that you can make notes properly, notes for of those topics. Okay, so what topics are left to be discussed from here? Actually very less topics are there. So first of all, we will start with the topic which is scope of variables. Okay, now scope, what is the scope of variable? Scope I have also told you in the live class also, and I have also discussed it in the previous videos also. Okay, what is the scope of variable? The scope is the rules that decide in which part of a program a particular piece of code or data could be known and can be accessed from. Okay, it means that what is the scope of variable? A scope is that particular piece of code in which a data we can recognize, we can use a variable, particular variable, and we can access it. Okay, that is the scope of a variable. Like for example, local scope means what? Local scope means what? That a variable which is defined inside any function, that variable could be accessed only inside the function only. As soon as we come out of that function, then the variable which was declared inside the function will not be accessible outside the function. That is known as the local scope. Okay, like here they have taken a very good example of a real life situation. Like suppose we are touring a historical place with many monuments. Okay, so to visit a monument we have to buy a ticket. Okay, so if you are having, for example, say there are, for monument A you will have to buy a ticket. Okay, so that ticket will be eligible, that ticket will be applicable to only monument A. Okay, there could be many monuments in a single city. Okay, but if you buy a ticket for only a single monument, then that will be applicable for only visiting that monument only. If you want to visit the other monuments, then how we can do that? For that you have to either buy tickets for other monuments separately, or what you can do, you have to buy the ticket for buying all the for visiting all the monuments in the city. So that ticket, if you buy for visiting all the monuments in the city, that could be considered as a global variable, because that ticket will be having global scope. Okay, and that ticket which is you are buying for separate monuments will be having local scope. That the scope of that ticket will be limited to that particular monument only. That a ticket for a particular monument can't be used for other monument. Okay, so in this way you can understand the concept of locals and global scopes. Okay, now in the terms of Python, a scope refers to the parts of program within which a name is illegal and accessible. Name means what? The name of any variable. Okay, name means what? The name of any variable, which is those parts of program are known as the scope within which a name is legal and accessible. Legal means what? It is defined, it is recognized within that scope, and it could be accessible also. Okay, like for example, first of all we can discuss the global scope. Okay, what is the global scope? A name declared in the top level segment. Top level segment means what? Which is outside the scope of any main function, outside the scope of any particular function. Yeah, like means in the main program. Top level segment means what? The main program segment. Okay, so that variable, those names which are declared in the top level segment or the main program, that are known to have a global scope. Okay, and they are usable inside the whole program within all blocks, and they are accessible within all the blocks. That block could be any function also, any other block also could be there. So they will be accessible within all the blocks in the program. Okay, now what is local scope? Local scope means what? A name declared in a function body is said to have local scope, that is, it can be used only within this function and the other blocks which are contained under it. Okay, so this difference between the two types of scopes. Now again these scopes have been shown by using this simple example here. Okay, here a calcsum function has been shown here. What is calcsum doing? It is taking two parameters as two values as argument, and it is adding them, and then it is returning the sum of these two values. Okay, and what are we doing in the main program? We are entering two numbers, and then we are calling this calcsum function by assigning it to the variable sum. Okay, this sum variable will store the return value of the calcsum function. Okay, and then we are printing the same value there. Okay, so if you look the program, then you can see that these three variables, num1, num2 and num1, num2 and sum, defined in the main program, and there are three variables x, y and z which are defined in the function calcsum. Okay, so what happens? As per the definition, num1, num2 and sum are global variables here. This num1, num2 are global variables. Why? Because they have been created here in the main program. which is outside the function definition. These number and num2 have been created, they have been defined in the main function, main program, so that they have become a global variable. Similarly, sum is also been created and defined inside the main program. So again, sum is also a type of global variable. But what is the case of x, y, and z? X, y, and z are the part of the function definition. They are the local variables of the function. So we can't term them as the global variable because they are local to the function. As soon as they come out of the calsum function here, these x, y, and z variables will not have any existence. If you want to access x, y, and z in the function in the main program, then we will not be able to access x, y, and z in the main program here. Okay. Now I hope it is all of you all the different concepts are clear to all of you. All these things, these are not any new things which I am discussing here. Okay, all these things have been discussed first in the videos, and then I have again revised them in the live class also. Those who are attending my live class, all of you know that I have discussed all these concepts very clearly in the live class, and not only once, I have discussed them in the past 3 or 4 days repeatedly. Okay, every day different people are joining in the live class, and again I'm repeating the same thing, a set of things to them every day. Okay, same topics I'm repeating every day for the students, so that all of you can understand the topics. Okay, that is why I will not go into the detail of every topic here. All of you are having the PDF which I have uploaded previously. All of you can go through the PDF and you can read all the details. See why I am preferring this book, because it is, see how clearly they are explaining every concept. You can see they are taking help of many pictures to show you the environment, how the flow of execution is taking place, how the memory environment is being creating and destroying all these variables. Okay, what happens in the memory when a particular function call is being made, how are the functions modified inside the function. All these things, all these topics have been explained very clearly in this book PDF. Okay, so I will advise all of you to go through the PDF very clearly. Okay, tomorrow I will upload the last video of this chapter, which is about passing list and tuples, passing tuples and dictionaries to the functions, and then this functions chapter will end. Then we will start the next chapter, which is using library functions in your Python. Okay, using functions and libraries is our next chapter. Okay, that we will start either tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But before that, I will upload the last video in which I will be explaining about how we can pass tuples and dictionaries to the Python function. Okay, now before that, one more thing I would like to explain to you. This is about name scope resolution. Okay, what is the meaning of name scope resolution? See, name resolution means what? If you want to reference any name within a program, then what will happen? If you want to access a variable from within a program or function, then Python will do what? Python follows the name resolution rule. Python follows a specific rule for specifying the for resolving the name resolution in a program. What is the meaning of name resolution? Firstly, for example, you are having a variable which is used. You are having a variable with a name which is being used with the same name in 2 different parts. Okay, you are having in the local function also, you are having a variable, and that same variable you are having within the outer main function also, in the outer main program also. So how will the interpreter resolve this confusion? How will the interpreter understand to which block, to which scope this variable is belonging to? Okay, because if you are using the variable with the same name in different scopes, then what could happen? With the same variable name, you could be having different variables. Okay, one variable may be having global scope, and other variable with the same name may be having local scope also. Okay, it is also possible that we may use a single variable name, but we may be having different variables with different scopes in the same program, but their name may be the same. In that case, what happens? The interpreter has to use name resolution to decide to which scope this variable is belonging to, whether it is of local scope or whether it is the variable of global scope. Okay, so in those situations where we are the name of the variable is common in different scopes and we are using a variable in different scopes in the program, in that case the interpreter uses a name resolution mechanism for resolving the scope of the variable. So what it is using? It is using the name resolution rule, which is known as the LEGB rule. This LEGB rule is known as is known for resolving the names in the Python program. Okay, what are the rules of what are the components of the rule? Let us see them. See, first of all, it checks within the local environment. Local environment, it will check means local environment means what? Whatever is the local scope means. For example, the local environment means it could be the function itself in which we are defining the variable. Like for example, see the previous example, what was there in this function? Here we are defined this calc sum. So here, what is this? This A, B, and C. This this A, B, C, and S are the local variables of the calsum function. Okay, so the local environment for these variables will be the calsum function itself. Okay, this calsum function will be the local environment for these 4 variables A, B, C, and S, because these variables are created inside the function itself. Okay, similarly, so now we again come to the topic here. So what is there? The first rule is it checks within the local environment, okay, or local namespace. It will check within local environment means any local function inside with which they are defined. It will check whether it is whether that variable has been created in the local environment or not. If it has been created in the local environment, then it will use that value which was defined for the variable in the local environment. Okay, if it has a variable with the same name, if yes, then Python will use its value. Okay, if it not, then moves to step 2. So if you are using a variable inside a function and you haven't defined the function inside the local variable, then what it will do? It will go to step number 2. And if we have defined the value for the variable in which we are using them in the local environment in which we are using it, then what the Python will do? It will search for the value in the local environment itself. It will search for the value in the local function itself. Okay, and if it is found, if the value is found, then it will use that value only in the program. I hope I'm making myself clear to you, all of you. Okay, now Python will now check the enclosing environment. So step number 2 is if the value, if the definition of that variable which we are using in the function, it is not found in the function itself in the local environment, then what it will do? It will now check the enclosing environment. Enclosing environment means what? Like for example, if the function in which the variable is being used is a nested function. Okay, nested function means what? Which is enclosed in some other function, which is being nested inside some other function. So if the variable is defined in that nested function, and if the definition is not found there, then what will the Python do? Python will now check in the enclosing environment, means in the outer function it will check. Okay, if whether there is a variable with the same name or not, whether there is a variable with the same name which is being used in the inner function or not. If it finds a variable with the same name in the outer function, then what will happen? It will use that value in the inner function also. If it finds that value with the outer function, then what it will do? It will use the value in the inner function also. Okay, if yes, Python will use its value. If the variable is not found in the current environment, means in the outer function also, then what it will do? It will Python will repeat this step to higher level enclosing environment. Okay, if there is one more, if that second function is also nested inside another function also, then what will happen? Python will now check in the third outer function. Means what? There could be several levels of nesting also. Means what I'm trying to say is one function may be containing another function, one function may be nesting another function inside it, and that nested function may also be nesting another function also inside it. So there may be many levels of nesting also possible in your Python functions. Okay, so what happens if there is one more function which is enclosing the second function, there's a third function, outer function also, then if in the first two inner functions Python is not able to find the definition of the variable, then what it will do? It will again search in the third outer function also, and so on. Okay, then the Python will repeat this step to higher level enclosing environments if there are any. Okay, if not, then what it will do? It will not move on to step number 3. Okay, step number 3 means what? Now it will search it will check the global environment. Global environment means what? Which is outside the scope of any function. Okay, which is outside the scope of any function, whether nested function or outer function. The global variable, the global environment is outside the scope of any function definition. Okay, so now when the Python hasn't found the definition in any of the function, whether the nested function, in the nested function also it is not found, and in the outer function also it is not found the value, then what it will do? It will now check within the global environment. Okay, whether there is a variable with the same name or not. Okay, it will check whether whatever variable we are using the function, whether it is defined in the global environment or not, whether there is a name, whether there is a variable with the same name or not, which has been defined there. Okay, if there is a variable which has been defined with the same name in the global environment, then the Python will use that value. If it is not, then what it will? It will now move on to the step number 4. Okay, what is step number 4 now? After that value has not been found in the global environment also, then what it will do? It will now check in the built-in environment. Okay, built-in environment is what? That contains all the built-in variables and functions of Python. See, like there are many built-in functions, similarly there are also many built-in variables also. So after the variable name has not been found in the global environment also, then the last step will be to check it in the built-in functions and variables. Okay, it will check whether there is any built-in variable which is of the same name as the name which we are using in the function. If it is found, then Python will use its value. Python will then use the value of the built-in function, built-in variable. Otherwise, Python will report the error which is name, then the variable name not defined. Okay, it will give you the error that the name is not defined. So this is the step. This is the fourth step through which Python will check for every name of the variable which we are using in any function. So I think it is clear to all of you or not. So when is this checking? When is this name resolution done? When we are using the variable with a particular name inside the function, but we haven't defined any value for the function, but we haven't defined any value for the variable inside that function. Okay, so हम क्या करें? We want to use a particular name inside a function in any expression or somewhere, and we haven't defined a value for that name. हमने उसको define नहीं किया है. We haven't defined that variable, but we are using it inside any function. It may be any nested function, it may be any outer function. So what will happen in that case? Python will use the name resolution for resolving the scope of that variable, whether there is any other variable with the same name in some other scope also or not. First, it will check in the same scope, in the same local environment in which it is being used. हमें पहले वो कहाँ चेक करेगा? हमने जहाँ उसको यूज किया है. It will check in the same environment in which we are using that. अगर वहाँ पे नहीं मिलेगा तो फिर क्या करेगा? फिर उसके इंक्लोजिंग एनवायरमेंट चेक करेगा. इंक्लोजिंग एनवायरमेंट मतलब क्या? मान लो वो नेस्टेड फंक्शन है जिसमें यूज कर रहे हैं, तो उसके आउटर फंक्शन में जो उसको इंक्लोज कर रहा है उसमें वो फिर चेक करेगा. अगर वहाँ भी नहीं मिला तो क्या करेगा? फिर वो ग्लोबल एनवायरमेंट चेक करेगा. ग्लोबल एनवायरमेंट मतलब क्या? जो हमारा मेन फंक्शन, जो हमारा मेन प्रोग्राम है, और मेन प्रोग्राम इज द ग्लोबल एनवायरमेंट. इफ इट डज नॉट फाइंड इट इन द लोकल एनवायरमेंट एज वेल एज इंक्लोजिंग एनवायरमेंट, देन इट विल चेक इन द ग्लोबल एनवायरमेंट. अगर वहाँ भी उस नाम का कोई वेरिएबल नहीं मिला तो क्या करेगा? फिर नॉट देन इट विल चेक इन द बिल्ट इन एनवायरमेंट. Okay, it will try to check in the built-in environment whether it is able to find that, whether it is able to find any variable with the same name in the built-in variables also. It will check whether there is a built-in variable or not which is having the same name as the variable which is being used in the function, है ना? If in all the four steps it doesn't find any matching variable name, then what it will do? It will report the error that this variable name is not defined. This variable with the name is not defined, so it can't be used in your program. Okay, so here they have shown this with the help of a diagram. Okay, this name resolution scope has been, this LGB rule has been shown here. Okay, you can also understand this with the help of different examples here. Okay, like the different cases are there, like variables in global scope but not in local scope. Okay, then second will be, in that case what will happen? Python will first check the local environment for the variable, and then Python will not check for num1 in the parent environment of calsum, which is the global environment. Okay, because why the global environment? Because there is no intermediate or the enclosing environment. If there was any intermediate environment for the calsum function, intermediate means what? If this calsum was a nested function inside some other function, then that enclosing function would be checked. Okay, first of all, where it will check? It will check for the value. See here, what is that? This num1 is a function. This num1 is a variable which we are using within the calsum function. Okay, but this number is not defined anywhere in the calsum function. Can you see this, all of you? This num1 has not been defined anywhere in the calsum function. Okay, अब क्या करेगा? Now the interpreter will check for the definition of num1 in the local scope first. It will local scope मतलब क्या? इस calsum के अंदर ही वो उसको चेक करेगा कि इस नंबर की कोई डेफिनेशन है कि नहीं, whether we have defined num1 anywhere or not, whether there is a variable with the name num1 which has been created in this function or not. If यहाँ पे क्या होगा? It will not be able to find any definition for the num1. So then what it will do? It will not check in the enclosing environment. Enclosing environment मतलब क्या कोई ऐसा function है जिसको enclose कर रहा है? If it was a nested function, if calsum was a nested function, then what will happen? It would then check in the enclosing function. जो function इसको enclose कर रहा है, जो outer function है, उसमें check करेगा num1 नाम का कोई variable है कि नहीं है. अब चूंकि यहाँ पे enclosing function है ही नहीं, इसलिए किस पे जाएगा? फिर third step पे चला जाएगा. What was the third step? The third step also check in the global environment. So here we see that we have a function which we have a variable which is named with num1 in the global environment. Okay, you can see here in the line here, what is written here? Number is equal to int input, enter first number. So here num1 has been created in the global environment. Okay, so now what we'll do? Now Python has find num1 here, so it will pick up the value and print it in the function there. तो वहाँ पे function में कौन सी value print होगी num1 की? जो value हमने global variable में मेन प्रोग्राम में डिफाइन की है, जो वैल्यू हमने नम1 की मेन प्रोग्राम एंटर की थी, वही वैल्यू यहाँ पे नम1 की यूज होगी, वही वैल्यू वहाँ पे वो प्रिंट कर देगा. ठीक है ना? आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड इट नाउ. ओके, नाउ सेकंड केस इज वेरिएबल्स नीदर इन द लोकल स्कोप और इन द नॉर इन द ग्लोबल स्कोप. हमने यहाँ पे देखो हमने क्या किया? हमने ग्रीट नाम का फंक्शन डिफाइन किया है, एंड व्हाट इज देयर इन द ग्रीट फंक्शन? we are trying to print the value of a variable which is named as name. So name is the variable which you want to print in the print statement, but this name has not been defined anywhere in the function also. And the main program also, what we have done, we have just called the greet function. We haven't defined any variable here. So now what we have seen, in this case we see that the variable is neither in the local scope nor in the global scope. Now, so what will be now be done? Now Python will report error for this variable name in the following code as it is not defined anywhere, है ना, क्योंकि नेम नाम कोई फंक्शन ना तो ग्लोबल में है ना तो लोकल में है, और इंक्लूजिंग तो कोई है ही नहीं क्योंकि यहाँ पे नेस्टेड फंक्शन तो है नहीं. इंक्लूजिंग कंसेप्ट तब आता है जबकि हमारा फंक्शन क्या होता है, वो नेस्टेड फंक्शन होता है. Enclosing environment case appears when your function in which you are using it is a nested function. Okay, when the function is not a nested function, then enclosing environment is not considered. Okay, so after that, where it will check after the function, after the variable definition is not found in the local function, then it will be checked in the global environment. If in the global environment also it is not found, then what will be done? Python will now report an error. Okay, because in the built-in variables also they will not find a variable with the name which is named as name there. Okay, then the case 3 is what? Same variable name is in the local scope as well as in the global scope. What does it mean? That we are having a variable in the local scope also, and we are also having a variable with the same name in the global scope also. Okay, what will happen now? If inside a function you assign a value to a name which is already there in the higher level scope, it means in the global scope also. Okay, Python won't use the higher scope variable because it is an assignment statement, and assignment statement creates a variable by default in current environment. तो जब भी हम assignment operator यूज करते हैं तो क्या करता है, by default एक नया ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट होता है ना. तो whenever we are using assignment statement in the local environment, so what will Python do? Every time it will create a new object, है ना. Every time it will create a new variable, a new object in the local environment. And the Python won't use the variable in the higher scope. What it will do, it will create a new, whenever we are using the variable in the same name variable in the local scope as well as global scope. So within the local scope, what will you consider? The global variable will not be considered. It will not be accessed. What will the interpreter do? The Python interpreter will create a new object with the same name. Okay, inside the local variable, inside the local environment of the function. Okay. Why? Because it is an assignment statement, and assignment statement always creates a variable by default in the current environment. See here, for example, here what is being done? This state1 is a function, okay, and tiger is equal to 15 is the variable which has been assigned a value in the, which has been created and assigned a value in the state1 function. Okay, and then you see in the global variable, in the main program also we are defining a tigers variable, and we are assigning the value 95 there, and within the function we are assigning the value 15 to the same variable. Okay, so in the global environment, what is the value? It is 95, and the local environment for statement, what is the value? It is 15. Okay, you can see there. So what will happen? This statement will create a local variable with the same tigers as it is an assignment statement. So what will happen? Because this statement is an assignment statement, tigers is equal to 15 is what? It is an example of assignment statement. So what will happen? This statement will create a new local variable. So because of this, a local variable will be created, and the global variable will not be used in the local scope. The global value which was 95, this will not be used in the scope of the function state1. Okay, in the function, inside the function state1, the global scope of the variable will not be used. What will be used? It will first create a new variable with the value 15, and then that variable's value will be used in your function. Okay, it won't refer to the tiger of the main program because that was the scope of the global variable. So if the variable is having the same name in the global as well as the local environment, in that case the local environment's variable will be considered, and that assignment operator in the local environment will be used to create a new variable. Like here you can see, by using this statement tiger is equal to 15, what will happen? Because tiger's name is common in the global variable as well as the local variable, so what will happen? Inside the function, this tiger is equal to 15 statement will create a new variable, and that variable will be local for the function, and that local variable's value will be used printed inside the function also. Okay, and the global variable will not be used inside the function. So the above program will give output as, see what we are doing. First of all, we are printing tiger's variable before passing it to the function. So before passing the function, what value is printed? 95 is printed. Okay, which is the result of print statement. Inside statement function is what? 15. So this is the second value of output will be 15, which is the value inside the state1 function. Okay, the value will be 15 because that is the value of the new variable, the local variable. And then again, when we come out of the function, then again what we are doing in the last line of the main program, we are again printing the value of the tiger's variable. So what is this last value? This last value is actually the value of the original variable, which is the global variable. So this value is unmodified because it was remained unmodified by the function. Why? Because inside the function, what happened? The same variable name was being referred in the local scope also. So what happens? A new variable was created with the same name. Okay, and that name was, but that name was because it was local, so it was existing only inside the function definition. As soon as you come out of the state1 function, then again within the main function, the tiger, the original value of tigers, which was the 95, will be used in to print, will be used in the print statement. So we will again get the same value of 95, which we were having before passing the value to the function. So I hope it is clear now. Okay, here one more thing we can understand by the same example. Here, what is this? This 95 is a type of immutable object. Okay, so because it is immutable, so this value can't be modified inside the function also. Okay, so again, what is happening? Because of this, they have created a new object for that. Okay, and because of by creating a new object, by copying the value and creating a new object, they have now used this object in the local scope. And this within the local scope, what is happening? The value of this local object has been printed. Okay, and then as soon as we get out of the state1 function and we again return to the main program, then again that original object will be referred, which is having the value as 95, and the value of the original object will again be printed in the print statement. Okay, so this example could be taken as an example of immutable object passing also. This example of immutable parameter passing also. So the same example can be used for understanding global and local scope also, and the same example can be used for understanding immutable objects also, by parameter passing of immutable objects. So I hope this was clear to all of you. Now similarly, you can study this from your book also. What if you want to use a global variable inside local scope? If you want to use a global variable inside the local scope, then what we can do? For that, we have to use a global keyword. By using the global keyword, what we will do? Inside the function, we will define a variable as global by using the global keyword. The global keyword can be used inside the function definition for specifying that a particular variable is the global variable. That is the variable which we are declaring as global is the same variable which is outside the function. Okay, the global keyword is used for declaring that a particular variable is the variable which is defined in the global scope. The variable, that particular variable is not in the local scope. Okay, the global keyword is used for accessing any global variable inside the local scope of a function. Because what happens? Inside the local scope of function, we cannot use a variable which is having the same name as any global variable. Okay, if a global variable is having the same name as that of a local variable in the function, that local variable will only be used. Okay, that global variable will not be accessed inside the function. That local variable will be considered as the new variable. Okay, that local variable will be considered as a new variable, and that new variable's value will be used inside the function. The global variable's value will not be used inside the function. But if you want to use a global scope of the variable inside any function definition, then we can do so by using the global keyword. Okay, like here what we have done in this state1 function, what we have done here, we have defined this tigers function as global by using the global keyword. Now what we have told now, that this tigers variable inside the state1 function, this tiger variable is the same as the tiger variable which has been defined outside the function. So this tiger variable inside the state1 function is not a local variable. Okay, this tiger function which has been declared global in the first line of function, it is not a local definition. This is the global definition. Okay, by using the global keyword, we are denoting that this is not a local. Here we are not creating a local variable. Here we are creating global variable, and that global variable is the same variable which has been defined outside the function with the value 95. Okay, so here we are telling that this is the variable which was initially having the value 95, and this is the same variable which is being referred in the function in the global scope. Okay, we are referring to the variable which was defined outside in the global scope inside the function, and this is indicated by using the keyword global inside the function here. अब क्या बताएगा कि हम जो जिस टाइगर वेरिएबल उसके अंदर एक्सेस करें वो कौन सा वेरिएबल है, वो एक्चुअली हमारा ग्लोबल वेरिएबल है जिसको हमने फंक्शन के बाहर क्रिएट किया था, which was created using the value 95 outside the function. That same value we are using inside the function, that is indicated by using the global keyword. अब क्या होगा, जो भी modification we will do in the value, that will be done to the value of the variable also. यहाँ क्या होगा, जो whatever modification we are doing to the value, that modification will be done to the origin value of the variable also. Okay, why? Because we have declared it to be the global variable. तो यहाँ क्या होगा, जो भी हम मॉडिफिकेशन करें वो कहाँ रिफ्लेक्ट होगा, हमारे मेन प्रोग्राम में भी रिफ्लेक्ट होगा. है ना, क्यों? क्योंकि हम यहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं, हम ग्लोबल स्कोप का वेरिएबल यहाँ पे यूज कर रहे हैं, ठीक है ना। तो व्हाट विल हैपन बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, द any modification if you make, that will be reflected now in the main program also. Now you see the same program will give the output as, first of all the first value will be 95 because that was the value before passing the value to the function, and then after that what will happen, the second value will be 15 which is inside the function, and the third value will be again 15 which is the value which is printed after returning from the function. Now you see we are not getting the original value which was 95. Why? Because that was the value which was unmodified before passing the value, but after passing the value to the function, that value has got modified, and the same global variable was modified inside the function. That is why when we are again accessing the global variable after returning from the function, we will get the modified value and not the original value, because the original value was modified inside the function. Okay. Once a variable has been declared global in the function, you cannot undo the statement. That is, after a global statement, the function will always refer to the global variable, and a local variable cannot be created at the same name of the same name. Okay. Now the next topic is about calling of functions, how we can pass mutable and immutable properties of past data objects. So this topic we have already discussed. Okay, we have seen how we can pass lists and strings to the functions, how we can pass numbers to the functions. Okay, only two data objects are remaining, tuples and dictionaries, that I will discuss in the next video. And then you can study the remaining topics from the book. See what is there in the book. Why I am telling you to study from this PDF, because you can see that here this book is explaining these topics in a very comprehensive manner. You can see this book is showing you this book is explaining all the topics in a very understandable manner by using different diagrams. It is showing you the memory environment, how actually the memory location is happening in the case of different arguments, how the arguments are being passed, what is happening in the memory environment, how the memory is being located for them. Okay, in which location what variables are being accessed. All these things are very clearly explained in these examples. So I will advise to all of you go through this through this topic very clearly and very sincerely from the PDF, because this PDF will give you a very good understanding of the topic. I will not go into detail because I have already discussed all these things in the previous videos. Okay, so in the next video I will discuss about how we can pass tuples and dictionaries to your functions, and then we will end the topic, and we will end the chapter second, which is functions. Okay, by the time I upload next video, I will instruct all of you to go through this topic very carefully and try to understand everything from the PDF. Okay, tomorrow we will again meet in the live class, and we will discuss any difficulties we are having in this topic. Okay, so till then, thank you students, study this chapter properly. Okay, thank you.